Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen in regards to the karmic mother. Now, many of you were able to discover by now that you have a karmic mother, whether this is your biological mother or someone who played the role of a mother figure in your life. Quite often, many of the chosen are what you might call orphaned or end up in foster care. So, whoever played the role of the mother figure in your life, you might have come to the place of discovering that this person was a karmic and did not mean you well. So, this karmic mother came to discover that you were, in fact, a chosen seed um, after observing you for a time in your adolescence. You were very unique, very different. You stood out. Whether you were an only child or if you had other siblings, you stood out in a way where you were satisfied in your own company. You might have been very introverted um, and very connected to nature, a sun gazer, stargazer, moon gazer, always just curious about what existed out there. Um, this karmic mother understood that she was not very nurturing to you, but in spite of her being emotionally detached, she observed that you found peace and solitude in your own company, and she recognized that you were connected to the higher source or the most high in a way where no one had to really guide you or direct you on how to create that bond. You just understood that there was other forces around you that made you feel at home in your own company. So you were not the type of child that was constantly attention seeking. Um, this karmic mother noticed, she found out that you was chosen because she realized that any type of skill that you had, you excelled at it. If you put your mind to it, you were very good at whatever it is you did. Like, you were very great at manifesting, even though you might not have called it manifesting. You likely had no clue of what manifesting was, but you was just very good. If you were given all of the tools that you needed to create something, you could create a masterpiece, whether it was through art, whether it was through singing, whether you played instruments, danced, whatever you did, you excelled at it. So she recognized very early on that you were, in fact, a chosen seed. And, you probably did a lot of writing as well. I feel like your karmic mother might have done a lot of snooping into the things that you might have written and realized, like, wow, this person, this child is very talented. Whether you wrote poetry, music, even if you wrote in your diary, there was something that was just very innocent about you that she recognized from a very early time in your life. And as weird as it seems, this karmic mother was quite intimidated by how skilled you were in practically anything that was set before you. Um, she knew that you was very unique and very different, and it was quite intimidating for her. And so once she discovered that you were a chosen seed, even if she didn't know what a chosen seed was, she understood that there was something very special about you. Once she discovered this, there was this energy of sabotage where she tried to be right all the time. And I think it was largely because you just knew things. You might not have always voiced them because there was an intimidation factor that this karmic mother tried to use with you because she understood that you knew a lot of things. But it was like she was always trying to manipulate situations to prove that she had more knowledge or more understanding. And I think it's because she recognized that you were an old soul from a very young age. And so there wasn't a whole lot that she could get past you. The narcissism, the gaslighting, the manipulation tactics, like, you saw right through that. Even if you never voiced it, she understood that you knew. And so she was very much so seated in her masculine energy when it came to how she dealt with you specifically. You might have noticed that maybe with other people or other siblings that she knew how to be a little bit more nurturing, more affectionate, more attentive. But with you, she turned on this energy of control and authority, being more of a strong disciplinarian, but for reasons that were unnecessary. Like she didn't have to be that firm with you, but she just was because some part of her felt like she needed to be the the dominant energy in the household. But I think she understood because you had an old soul that you would likely possess far more wisdom than what she was able to gain in her lifetime. And that was intimidating for her because she understood that this would be wisdom that you would not gain from her. This would be wisdom that you just naturally possessed internally. And so a large part of her manipulation tactics would be to suppress your gifts and to create insecurities within you so that you would never rise into your divinity and become the higher version of yourself. And so, this karmic mother understood that you were the type of person who, no matter how many times she put you down or made you feel like you were less than or ostracized you or, isolated you, you still never gave up. You was never able to be defeated. You always kept your light shining no matter what. And you were always creating. It's like you could always manifest a circumstance that would work in your favor. If you got in trouble for like petty things and you got on punishment, you would create a whole world of your own in your personal space because you knew how to connect with yourself in a way where you connected better with yourself than you did with others, even when it came to other children. So she understood that no matter how many manipulation tactics she used against you, it was never enough to prevent you from continuing to shine in your own way. And I feel like you just always tried new avenues to express yourself. You were just very gifted, very creative. And you still possess this spark that she kept trying to dim. It's like she kept trying to put the light out, but she was never effective. Because you was just always very passionate and effortless in anything that you did. But she never really applauded you, knowing that you had all of these gifts and certain talents that if she really nurtured you, if she really supported you, you could have really put a lot of your focus and your passion into those things. And with her support, you would have been able to excel far beyond what you had already done. Maybe with a little bit of time that you had put into learning certain things. Like, for instance, if you were an artist, you just were very good at art, even without being taught. But if she would have supported you and pushed you and said, wow, job well done, I want to really support that talent. I see you going places with that, and really pushed you in that, and gave you the emotional support that you needed, she knew that you was going to excel, hands down. It doesn't matter what you did, you were going to excel at it. And so she created a lot of towers for you. It was like always these disruptive, chaotic moments where you had to get prepared for things to get shaken up. It's like you could never just have stability being around this karmic mother. Over time, I feel that there was a jealousy that began to emerge through this particular individual, the karmic mother, because she noticed that you begin to develop into this very beautiful or handsome individual. And it was quite intimidating to see you stepping into your power. And she's knowing that not only do you possess all of these gifts and talents and this beautiful heart, but you're also now blossoming into this very attractive individual. And so, in an attempt to dim your light even further as you got older, um, she would really isolate you and make you feel abandoned, left out in the cold. If things happened, it was like she was not there to help you. And it was like she wanted you to feel helpless and hopeless and in like a dark place, because her hopes was that you would end up becoming codependent in some way. That way she would always be the one that had the upper hand. She needed to feel like she was the dominant energy within the family. And so this karmic mother definitely did not feel very good about you being a chosen seed, because she knew that you were getting ready to go places. You had a strong potential to manifest and create whatever it is that you wanted. Like, she understood by the time you got older, this karmic mother understood without a shadow of a doubt that you were in fact a chosen seed. And so she knew that you had a very strong connection to the Most High and the elements and all that exist. And so I feel like there was a lot of attempts to sabotage your potential from this karmic mother. Like, she used various measures. Some of these karmic mothers even took the route of using spell work and dark magic against you to create tower moments in your life, or to slow down any creative ideas that you might have been working on. She intentionally created stumbling blocks for you so that you would not be able to bring that vision into fruition. So she wanted to see you in lack, in poverty, so that you would always feel like whatever you tried to do or whatever you attempted to do, it would end up failing. And so she went out of her way to make you feel as if you just didn't fit in. Like, she might have given a whole lot more attention to other siblings or other people that, was within the family, and made you feel as if you just did not fit in, like you were not welcomed. And so that was an attempt to lower your self-esteem and to have you questioning, well, am I good enough? And why doesn't she love me? And so this is her removing herself from you emotionally. She understood that that would hurt you more than anything for a certain period of your life. And so she isolated you even further in hopes that you would always feel this desire to cling to her or to seek her love, or that you would always be stressed out, overthinking, trying to figure out why certain things, wasn't working in your life, or why she never accepted you, or, why she felt that others were more, brought her more emotional fulfillment. But it was really all an act just to hurt you. It was all targeted towards your heart and your mental state, so that you would not really step into your power in the way that she knew you had the potential to. And so this karmic mother, she operated very unjustifiably, and it was really all because of her own insecurities. She had certain curiosities, I feel, even when she was a child, that it was almost like she compared herself to you. When she was a child, she didn't have all of the talents that you had, or she lacked a certain amount of spark or light that you had. And a large part of her just felt very envious of that light. And so her objective was to keep you hurt. I think she also understood that you had natural gifts on a spiritual level that she did not give herself permission to explore. And so her objective was to make you feel as if you were taking losses so that you would never develop those spiritual gifts and explore them further. And it was almost like she provoked certain things with others against you to make you feel like, not only did she not care for you, but to make you also feel as if others didn't really care for you. And so she understood that you possessed a lot of intellect, even if you didn't do so well in school, or if you didn't stay in school, if you dropped out early, whatever the case may be. She understood that even if you would have put your energy, your time, and your focus into your schoolwork, you would have excelled even there. It was all cakewalk for you. And so this was very intimidating. And so this karmic mother, ultimately, yeah, it was all about just being right. It was all about being right and manipulating you in any way that she could. And so now that you have awakened, I feel that you've taken your power back. And this karmic mother, for many of you, for those of you whose karmic mother is still living, she is now wrestling with herself, because a lot of people don't deal with her anymore. The same isolation that she tried to create for you, she now has to live with that. And it's very difficult for her because she is very hardened. She has no balance with her feminine energy. And so creativity is not there. Emotional stability or self-love is not there. It's lacking in a lot of ways because she has fully embodied, excuse me, y'all. She's fully embodied this masculine energy. And so this it's caused her to push away a lot of people in her life, even those that she pretended to care for more than she cared for you. Even those people are no longer dealing with her. And so life is very lonely for your karmic mother. It's very cold without your energy because there was a certain amount of love and light that you brought into her life that she just completely rejected. She refused it. And now that she does not have you in her life, she recognizes that everyone that was in her energy, they could not bring the type of innocent, genuine love that you offered. And from a distance, this karmic mother sees that you have fully developed into that handsome or beautiful individual who is, you became exactly what she tried to prevent you from becoming, or actually you became far more than what she tried to prevent you from becoming, because she could not anticipate the way that the Most High would develop you and transform you into this beautiful, unique being that you are today. She had no idea. She really believed that her tactics against you would have been, they would have worked, because for a time they did. For a time, you couldn't understand why you was not accepted, and so that really did eat away at you for a time. It messed with your confidence and your self-esteem and your creativity. And so for some time you might have dealt with lack. You might have dealt with being left out in the cold and, you know, feeling alone and just not being able to be your true authentic self around people, because the one person that you wanted to open up and to accept you refused to, on purpose. And so it did something to you emotionally for a long time in your life. But once you went through your healing phase and your transformation, and you began to realize this woman was karmic in your life, you released her. You did yourself the biggest favor that you could do, was by releasing her and seeing her for who she was, and recognizing that there was nothing wrong with you, that you were in fact a good child that had beautiful intentions. And if you would have been nurtured properly, you could have had a really strong bond with her, and you know, things could have gone in a different direction. But the fact of the matter is, this is your karmic mother. And so many of you will find that you'll come to adopt or to grow relationships with your soul tribe family, other people that feels like a mother or that feels like true family to you. But the fact of the matter is, this karmic mother could not accept the fact that you could potentially become far more than what she had ever become. And that was her own insecurities. It was her own ego that kept her from having a beautiful relationship with you. And so now she's full of regrets, but she still watches you from a distance, seeing that you have become far more than what she could have ever imagined. And so that's my message as far as the karmic mother. I hope that it brought you some clarity. If it finds that that it resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below to let us know your personal experience with the karmic mother. And I'll talk to you all next time.